Hey guys, welcome to another Delta Force versus Battlefield comparison. This time with commentary, because it wouldn't make any sense without it. The last two comparisons seems to be received pretty well, even though the one with the destruction was a bit more intensely discussed. Nevertheless, I found it interesting to read all of your opinions, but one point that came up a lot, understandably, is that Delta Force looks like a copy of Battlefield 2042. So I thought we're gonna dive a bit deeper into this and check how close the games really are, starting with the characters. Both titles are built on an operator system instead of traditional classes, and these operators have a lot in common. Delta Force has revealed 6 different operators so far that are also playable in the alpha, with a 7th one being tested on mobile right now. They are parted into the 4 classes: Assault, Medic, Engineer and Recon, and the weapons and gadgets these operators have are restricted. Battlefield 2042, on the other hand, has 14 so-called specialists now, split up into 4 classes as well, and the only difference here is that the medic is called support. Gadgets are bound to each class as well, but weapons are open to everyone. And for me personally, this is a point for Delta Force, because I prefer a restriction in weapons to give gunfights a better readability. And I do hope that Battlefield will go back to this system with the next title as well. However, looking into the specific operators now, we start with the one that has the most striking similarities, and that's Stinger. Stinger is the only medic character available in the Delta Force Alpha so far, and he can basically be seen as a copy of Falk from 2042. His passive ability is to revive every teammate faster than anyone else, same as Falk, and he also has a healing pistol that allows him to restore his teammates' health from distance, or even kill enemies with it. When holding the button, the characters in both games can heal themselves. Additionally, both can also equip health or ammo crates. What I think Delta Force does better though is the lock-on mechanic for the healing pistol, because even though this was refined in 2042 already, it's still pretty fiddly. In addition, Delta Force has a special smoke grenade that you can throw and then shoot at with the healing pistol, and this will produce a healing cloud, which is pretty cool. In 2042, on the other hand, the turrets that are shot from that pistol stay on the ground and can be picked up later on by wounded teammates, or if an enemy walks over them, they deal damage. This is not possible in Delta Force. So Battlefield's mechanics have a little bit more depth and more hidden features that you just start to discover over time, and Delta Force is a bit more straightforward. Still, at least these two characters are very similar, and Delta Force really took heavy inspiration here. When looking at the Assault class, on the other hand, there are little to no similarities between the two games, and the two operators, D-Wolf and Viron of Delta Force, are more focused on faster movement speed and explosives to storm the front lines, while in Battlefield 2042 the specialists are more focused on bringing verticality to the game or flush the enemy out of cover. There are a few gadgets, like D-Wolf's blaster that could be compared to Zane's airburst launcher, or Viron's E-bomb that is basically C4 with a timed fuse, and these could be seen as copy, but then again they appear in so many shooter games that it wouldn't be fair. The only thing that is very similar are the two frag and smoke grenade launchers that can be equipped as gadgets, and these are indeed very close to the ones of Battlefield again. Moving on to the Recon class, we have Luna and Heckclaw in Delta Force, and here there are again a few more similarities to the Recon specialists in 2042. Luna has a detection arrow that highlights all enemies in an area around it, and that works pretty similar to the detection pulse of Pike's EMG-X scanner. Her passive ability is to highlight enemies that she deals damage to for a short amount of time, and this is also exactly what Pike's trait is. Heckclaw, on the other hand, is a hacker, like the name already suggests, but she doesn't really have any similarities with the specialists of 2042. Her decoder shows her the path to nearby enemies, but doesn't really spot them, and her data knife allows her to hack enemy gadgets and destroy them, which is similar to Rao's hacking ability, but still works in a completely different way. It can be used as a throwing knife as well though, which is a gadget Recon class and Battlefield also has, but that applies to many other shooter games as well. In addition, the Recon class and Delta Force can equip either a SOFLAM or an insertion beacon to their gadget slot, similar to Battlefield 2042, and both work in a similar way. And then there is the engineer class, and here we only have access to one operator in Delta Force called Shepard, but in the mobile version of the game there is another engineer tested right now, and this one has striking similarities to Liz from Battlefield 2042. Thanks to Torbis for the heads up on this, because it would have went completely unnoticed from my side. And what this operator has is a TV guided missile against air and ground vehicles. Shepard, on the other hand, the operator we already have access to in the Delta Force Alpha, has an ability called Sonic Paralysis that affects your HUD elements and your ability to use your gadgets. This is a similar effect that the specialist Rao has in 2042 when hacking an enemy, only that he is part of the Recon class. And Shepard's trait is that he takes less damage from explosives, which is also present in 2042, but again at a different specialist named Dozer that is part of the Assault class. Plus, all engineers in Delta Force have access to a trophy system alongside several missile and rocket launchers. And this trophy system is also a specialist gadget in 2042, but again at a different character in a completely different class. So Delta Force merges all of this into one character, while 2042 spreads it across different specialists and even different classes. But overall, I feel like the operators in Delta Force make a lot more sense in terms of their abilities and gadgets, and they play a lot better than the specialists in 2042, simply because their abilities are more teamplay focused and they always fit well within their classes and contribute to the role of the class. In 2042, some specialists do not 100% fit their class or could as well belong to another class, so it still doesn't have the same structure. But this also has to do with the class system being implemented to the game at a later time and not right from the start. So they had to try and fit them in somehow instead of building them for the specific class right away. And that was it from me so far. Tell me in the comments below what you think about all of this, and if you enjoyed this comparison once again, drop a like and subscribe for more. Until then, thanks for watching, thanks to my members for the additional support. I'm Catwoman, and you are awesome.